The assassination of President John F. Kennedy is the greatest murder mystery in American history.
That's Rob Reiner. Rob called me, Soledad O'Brien, and asked me what I knew about this crime.
We'll ask who had the motive to assassinate a sitting president. Then we'll pull the curtain back on the cover-up. The American people need to know the truth.
Listen to Who Killed JFK on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready. Will Lucas from Black Tech Green Money, the podcast for black techies with a passion for capital, is hosting a special event happening at State Farm Park in iHeartland. Will's going to chat about the top 10 things you should be doing to build your wealth. Don't miss this epic event starting Thursday, November 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern at State Farm Park in iHeartland on Roblox. Available all weekend long. Be sure to check out State Farm's new Temple of Sound Maze minigame. Visit iHeartRadio.com/iHeartland to start playing today.
Are you ready to start?
I'm ready.
We're starting. We've started.
Let's do it.
I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it. Nobody
That is
knows
a joke.
what we're referring
Nobody
to.
knows
That's
what
okay.
that. No, it's a ridiculous joke.
Yep. Too long of a story, so no.
Oh boy, is it ever.
Yes.
Hi.
What's up? Hi.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? I just got a mammogram yesterday. Not my first. I've had many, but
I had one of those fun things a few weeks ago. We
yeah.
could have gone together and held hands.
We should have gone together. Yeah. Well, that would have been more fun.
I mean, it's very important.
It is very important.
It is very important. Get your mammograms, ladies.
It is. You do it, you grin and you bear it.
Check
Yeah,
the
it's
tatas.
important. And you know what I just learned? Sorry to anyone who's not into middle age ailments, but they've lowered the age. They've lowered the age of colonoscopies to 45. So now I have to. It was 50. Now it's 45, and I'm 47. So apparently I'm overdue for a colonoscopy just because they lowered the recommendations.
I will tell you that it's very important. My best friend Celia lost her sister in her early 40s to colon cancer spread. And she only found out that she had it after she had her kid. She was pregnant at the time, and they found it when she had the kid, but they didn't notice. So it is very prevalent in women. Not to like bring the vibe down, but
no. This is the more you know.
It is super important, and it is also important because the way that we eat and take care of our insides is not great. So like I definitely am. You know, they call the gut the second brain. It is actually just as important to your mental health and well-being if you have a healthy gut biome, and obviously colonoscopies are part of that. So
totally okay. Well, this is your PSA.
Yeah. And it's not fun. I heard it's not like I haven't had one, but I've heard that the procedure itself isn't terrible. It's the disgusting schmuck. Not schmuck. That's the wrong Yiddish term. The disgusting stuff you have to drink the night before, and that basically you should just move everything that you need into a comfortable spot in the bathroom and just hang out there.
I've heard the same.
Basically be like Steph, move into the bathroom and just do that for a night, and then you'll be over it the next day.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just the anticipation of, because I've never done it, so I'm kind of like, I'm nervous, don't know what to expect, but I do know how important it is, and you just grin and bear it.
Look, get a colonoscopy, then you'll be ready for a colonic, and then you'll just be like, every 3 months, just hose me out, It'll be great.
Clean as a whistle. Okay.
Right, yeah. Perfect. They say those are probably bad for you, actually, because it, again, takes out the good, healthy gut biome stuff.
Yeah, you need the good stuff inside you. Yep.
I mean, look, everyone's just doing their best, and sometimes you gotta, get a little invasive.
Okay.
It's important.
All right. I will.
Check
you
your
got to
boobs in your butt, people.
Hold me to it. That
there you go. That's my
you,
message
well,
for the day. Check your boobs in your butt.
Check your boobs in your butt. It's very
yep.
Boob and butt health is very important.
It is. Okay. It is, and nobody wants to talk about it because we're weird about body parts in this country. But let me tell you, it shouldn't be a weird topic. Like, we should be more open about it. I wish people had talked to me more about mammograms and stuff. And it's like, it's no big deal. It's not a taboo topic. Just talk about it. Well, now that I know that, I'm going to talk to you about mammograms all the time. That's it. I'm just going to find random mammogram facts and be like, did you know? Yeah. And that's it.
There we go.
Because you said you wished that people had talked to you more about it. So now,
hey, another
I'm
idea.
your friend.
Another idea for a live show. We get live mammograms on stage.
No, I'm good. No. Because you know what? There'd be way too many people that would be in for it. And that creeps me the fuck out. Okay. There's way too many people who would be like, I'd go watch that. And you're like, no.
Well, we could have like a privacy screen. They wouldn't like actually see it happen.
What are you talking about? How are you going to get... You're gonna bring a mammography machine?
Yes. The X-ray machine
somewhere.
Yes. And the boob handler, the lady that handles your boob.
You mean the nurse?
Yes.
The boob handler? I mean, it is true. They do kind of go, all right, here. And then they're like closer to the machine. You're like, I am crawling inside of the machine.
Yes.
I can't possibly get any closer.
You can't get any closer. Get closer. It'll be like when
they get closer, they're going to be giving me a colonoscopy. That's really
well, hey, yeah. Well, if you want a two
for one.
Katie Couric did it on the Today Show. She got her colonoscopy live on the Today Show, so I'm feeling inspired. But
don't they give you something that makes you like no one I don't want to be live after that.
Well, I want to see that. I'm buying a ticket right now.
It is that you know what? It would be like one of those like wisdom tooth extractions where it's like, what is happening to this person? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm so glad we started off the show there.
This has started off brilliantly.
Hey, you know what? We are helping people. Someone might hear this and be like, you know what? I'm 45. I should go get that, and maybe we'll help them. So
if it helps even one person, it was worth all the awkwardness of talking about it.
Right? And all the awkwardness of drinking the terrible stuff.
Yes.
All right.
Well, stay tuned. I'll tell that story on another mini-sode sometime. Whenever I actually schedule the darn appointment.
Oh, the mini mammography episode.
No. I'm already sweating and we just started.
That's just a hot flash.
It's true. That's true. Hey, HRT. That's our podcast initials and.
Yeah, and we've never felt it more than talking about colonoscopies and mammograms today. And everyone under 40 is like, what's
wrong with them?
With these two? Yeah.
What's wrong with the Full House girls?
Guess what? When you're 40 plus, you also will have people saying, what is wrong with you? And I hope you do. Yes. Then you know you've succeeded.
It's a rite of passage. I'm here for it. Well, let's get into the episode. Let's get away from these topics of boobs and butts and get into today's episode
of Danny's first date, which really isn't that far off, I think. You know what I mean? If we're talking thought process, I don't think that's too far of a stretch.
Bob would love it. Bob would love if we've dedicated this episode to boobs and butts, and this is his episode. So
yeah, and it really is. And that, Bob, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
He would love nothing more than inappropriate bathroom humor,
yeah.
especially about an episode where he's, nervous about going on a first date after his wife's dead. So there's nothing more that Bob appreciates than really terrible humor. I'm looking at your picture right now, Bob.
Bob.
You're welcome.
We love you, Bob. Well, welcome back to How Rude, Tanneritos. I am Andrea Barber.
And I am Jodie Sweeten, and how rude indeed.
Today, we are discussing season 1, episode 18.
17.
No, 17. I'm still having a hot flash.
This is our episode 18, but we did one intro episode. So yeah.
I was reading the wrong thing. Okay. So today we are discussing season 1, episode 17, titled Danny's First Date. And it originally aired on February 11th, 1988, right before Valentine's Day.
Aww.
And it goes a little something like this. Danny has not dated anyone since his wife's death 1 year ago.
Wait, what about the chick that came to his birthday party?
He wasn't ready to date. Remember, he turned her down for like a lunch or a meal.
Okay, that's right.
He was just like, he wasn't ready. For Carolyn, the sea cruise captain.
Right. Yeah.
Carolyn was the only good thing about that sea cruise episode.
True. And the only good thing.
I wish she had come back, but that's okay. We have Linda, the hive mother instead.
Linda, listen, Linda. Listen.
So Danny becomes interested in this hive mother of Stephanie's honeybee troop. But when his kids find out that he might be going on a date, their negative response surprises him.
It's just it's a little dangerous though to date the hive mother of your kids.
Yeah, it seems messy to me. It seems a little messy. I feel like
it's It's first
okay.
time.
That's
It's
okay.
okay.
That's right. It's not the point of the
Where
episode.
else are you going to go? You know what I mean?
Right. It's got a limited pool here. So this episode was directed by Joel Zwick. It was written by Jeff Franklin, and we have a couple of guest stars here. We have Karen Coppins. Karen Coppins. I don't know how you say it.
I would go Copins.
You would go Coppins. Okay. Karen Coppins.
I could be wrong.
As she plays Linda Stratton. She's also known for 80s vampire Jim Carrey debut Once Bitten.
Oh, that is a historical piece of films. No, it's not. I was just kidding.
Yeah, I liked it, and I don't even like scary stuff. She was also in Troop Beverly Hills. She was in Dallas, and Troop Beverly Hills was fantastic. I wonder who she played in that. Anyway, so we love Karen, even though her hair is, very 80s. It is very 80s.
It's very
very blunt cut 80s. But that's okay. We'll get into it. And the other guest star this week is Deborah Ann Gorman. She plays Julie, who is Linda's daughter.
Right.
Another honeybee.
Yes. And she was, I don't think, necessarily in anything else.
Being on Full House killed her desire to pursue acting as a child.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe.
Maybe not. We don't know.
Right.
So the show opens with Stephanie and her friends having a honeybee meeting in the living room. The hive.
Love the honeybees.
Love those honeybees. They, we haven't seen you in your honeybee outfit in a couple of episodes here. So
it's true.
Love that costume. The hive mother, Linda, has made Joey an honorary queen bee. This is great. And there's so many kids in this scene, too. Like, you finally get to play with kids.
One of whom was our stage manager, Keith Richmond's daughter, Allison.
No way.
She was sitting, I think, like the furthest kind of upstage in like the front row, long dark hair.
Yeah.
That because I was friends with with Keith's daughters. They would come to birthday parties and whatever. But yeah, she was one of the honeybees.
Oh.
I'm sure there were other. I actually had written down. I was like, there's probably other, crew kids in the honeybees. But
oh, that's such a great perk of being a crew member's kid,
right? Yeah,
you get to be an extra in a scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so today is the start of the Honeybee Honey Drive, which is akin to Girl Scouts selling Girl Scout cookies, which both you and I are very familiar with because we've both
indeed
been there, done that many times.
And then I gotta say, I feel like selling honey would have been a lot harder. Cookies, way easy.
Cookies are way easier because you can eat so many of them.
Because truthfully, how much honey does one need? And it doesn't go bad.
No. So, a jar of honey will last me easily a year. Easily.
But it doesn't. You can keep honey for as long as you want, and it does not go bad. So, yeah.
This is a difficult product to sell, and I guess it's on theme with the honeybees, but you're right. This is a very difficult product to move. So Linda explains that they are raising money for underprivileged children, and the honeybee who sells the most honey will win a special grand prize, a new bicycle.
Oh, I mean, couldn't the underprivileged kid use the bike more?
I know. If you're raising money, well, and I have issues. I have conflicted feelings about this. I'll get to this.
Okay, we'll get. Sorry.
So they take the cover off to reveal the brand new bike, and Stephanie immediately runs over to climb on it. Joey awkwardly attempts to extract Stephanie from the bike, and Stephanie exclaims, "That seat was made for my tush."
See, we were on brand. We started the show in a very on-brand way. But to be fair, the meeting is at Steph's house. She's like, there is a new bike in my living room. I get why she feels a little entitled to it. But it's kind of, I'm like, Steph, you're kind of, just sit down.
I know, have some chill. Have some chill, Stephanie.
Yeah, don't be that kid.
Well, you were 6. It was like that was you're impulsive. Yeah, you're just like, I want the bike.
Yeah.
I want the bike.
Yeah,
so
I know. Yeah,
I understand. I understand it.
it.
So Joey introduces a young lady who holds the record for selling 725 jars of honey, DJ Tanner. Wow.
That is a lot of honey.
It's a lot of honey. DJ walks in. She's wearing a purple denim dress, which is a departure from her normal Amish look or Yellowstone costume that she normally is wearing.
The 1823 or whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. Yes, this was an updated denim, an updated Canadian tuxedo. You know what I mean?
Cute.
It was purple denim, purple acid wash denim. By the way,
washed denim.
Ugh,
yeah.
Yes.
She looked great. I loved it.
Oh, it was so cute.
I loved it. So DJ gives the honeybees a pep talk about how they will need to work their little stingers off. And
she's not a honeybee anymore, right?
No, she has
retired.
She has passed the antenna on to you,
right?
In one of the previous episodes. So now she's the mentor who's imparting wisdom to the honeybees. Right. She leads them in a chant of sell, 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 sell. And this, this brings me to my conflicted feelings about fundraisers like this. Which, yes, I love, and I was a cookie mom, so I'm very much, I was the cookie mom for our Girl Scout troop, so I have done this many, many times, and I think it's great. It teaches girls the skills like managing money, setting goals, understanding customers, meeting deadlines, all of that is great, but I feel like there's become too much attention on an emphasis on the prizes that you get for selling X number of products. Like in this case, selling so many, the top seller is going to win a bike. Same thing with Girl Scouts. The girls all they want are like the prizes, the bears, the sweatshirts, the trip to Disneyland.
You do realize we live in an incredibly capitalist country in which everything is incentivized to sell the most to other people of things they don't need, like 700 jars of honey.
I know. So I don't like it.
I think the sell thing also is like a kind of a throwback to like Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, Michael Douglas's character. Like it's all about. I mean, it's the 80s. It's the yuppie stockbroker money, vibe right now.
Yeah, I get it.
Not that that's ever gone anywhere. I don't. But that was it. This was definitely. This was that era.
This was that era, and I just I don't. I think the point should be the underprivileged children that you're raising money for, not the prizes and the bike and the top seller. You got to keep the emphasis where it belongs.
I wonder why they didn't just say that it was like benefiting the troop, rather like why'd they have to make it about the kid? Did they just think that wasn't going to play as well?
Well, I think normally, like our Girl Scout troop would always take our profits from cookie selling, and donate
and that always went back
to
the
a
troop.
Charity. Yeah, half of it stays with the troop for whatever field trips you got coming up or expenses, and then we would donate the other half to a charity. Or like we did a shelter one time, an animal shelter. Yeah. We brought blankets and we donated money so that they could help pets. And so I think that's good. That's very good. It teaches altruism, but it's the incentives that I have an issue with.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But that's for
it's common.
Kids are self-obsessed little creatures and really will only do things if there's something in it for them most of the time.
It's true.
That's we all were like that, and some people never grow out of that.
I know a lot of adults like that still.
Yeah, I know tons. I know several like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it though. I also am not comfortable with the selling of things.
Yeah, yeah. It's always awkward.
Steph needs a bike. So
Steph needs a bike. She's on a mission. She needs a bike.
Yeah.
So Jesse walks in the front door. He's wearing his exterminator uniform, and DJ yells, "Attack!" The honeybees surround Jesse until he explains that he's been exterminating bugs all day, and he will not hesitate to take care of them if needed.
I loved that. That was a hilarious joke, actually. That was very funny.
It's a good one. Such a good one. He shoos them away, and we follow Jesse into the kitchen.
Today.
In the kitchen, Jesse laughs at Joey's bee costume, and Joey explains to Jesse that he is an honorary queen bee. And
with those high-waisted pants, he certainly is. My God, the pants. I literally wrote down Joey's high-waisted pants.
Yeah.
They were. His torso looked like it was an inch long.
They get higher every episode. I'm convinced. He just keeps hiking them up.
And the belt loops were like this wide, and it was.
It's a choice.
Flattering.
That was a choice, Dave.
I preferred Joe in the 3-piece suit. The high-waisted pants were not doing anything.
Me too. So Jesse sees a large cardboard box in the kitchen, and Joey explains that it's a dream house from Jesse's mom for Michelle. At this moment, Danny rushes in from the back door and he asks if he missed the honeybee meeting. Jesse assures him that the honeybees are still there, but more importantly, so is their hive mother, Linda. And he says this in like a sing-songy voice, alluding to a hopeful love interest for Danny. Ooh. So Danny grabs a pan from the drying rack. He starts just casually checking out his hair and fixing his cowlick. And Jesse comments that Linda is very pretty and very divorced. Joey and Jesse want Danny to admit that he has a crush on Linda, but Danny denies it. Joey tells him go for it. It's obvious he's ready to start dating again, but Danny is unsure. Jesse explains that it's been a year since Pam died. This is very helpful timeline for us,
Yes,
the audience.
I was like, okay, a year. Noted.
So it's been 12 months, and Jesse and Joey think that Danny's ready to date.
He's ready.
Danny's not sure though. Danny claims that it's been so long he doesn't even remember how to ask a girl out.
Yeah, he says it was since prom. Because remember, we find out that they were high school sweethearts.
Oh, I know. So yeah, it's understandable. It's been over 10 years, and he doesn't know how to ask anyone out on a date.
And I have thoughts.
What are your thoughts
on this? Because Danny says that it was actually Joey who asked out Pam for him, right?
Strange,
and Jesse
yes.
seems surprised at all this, but Jesse was the brother, right? So wouldn't he have met Danny and Joey then too if they were dating since? I don't know. Maybe not.
Well,
maybe I'm just...
No,
again,
I think
it's that messy thing of like, we've known each other forever, but we've just now met.
Yeah.
Sort of moment.
I guess I was sort of thinking of it sort of like Joey was like the Cyrano de Bergerac. Did I say that right?
De Bergerac?
Cyrano de Bergerac?
Not
Whatever.
Tom Bergeron.
He was the one. He was just like basically speaking for Danny. I don't think he had anything to do with Jesse. He was just like the one that was
no. I know that.
For Danny.
But if Joey and Danny were best friends in high school, and Danny and Pam started dating in high school, and Jesse, was he the older brother or young?
I think he's the younger. Brother? He's the younger. He's younger than Pam. 5 years younger than Pam.
So wouldn't he have seen the two of them around?
Maybe. Sure. I'm trying to think. I'm 5 years younger than my brother, one of my brothers. And yeah, they were always hanging out. I was always like wanted to hang out with the older kids and like, I always had a crush on them.
I feel like they would have been in this, at least known of each other.
Yeah.
It just always feels a little bit like Jesse is this outlier instead of his mom being the grandma for everybody. Well, I don't know. I'm reading too much into it. I'm thinking too much.
Maybe, but no, you do bring up a good point though about it. I don't think because I tend to forget too that Jesse is the brother-in-law. Jesse would have known that Joey asked Pam and Dan. You know what I mean? Yeah. Unless if Pam was 18, that means Jesse was like 13. Maybe he was just too self-absorbed to notice what was going on in Pam's life. I don't know. I don't know. That's fine. There's way too much logic for a sitcom.
I know. Too much logic.
Okay, so Danny reveals it's Joey who actually asked Pam out. Jesse's very disturbed at the idea of Joey being an expert on romance. And Jesse gives Danny a pep talk. He says, now go out there and be bold, be confident, and ask that girl out. The guys push Danny into the living room. Yes, I love that pep talk. So now we're in the living room. Danny's confidence has waned a little bit as he walks in on the honeybee meeting. They're just wrapping up. Linda has all the honeybees assembled by the front door, and she tells them to buzz into the car, which is a little
big. She's got to be driving a rather large van or a station wagon.
Yeah, I'm wondering, are all those honeybees going to fit in her car? And they're just unattended. Like she spends another 5 minutes.
There's just kids on a street in San Francisco in a car on a hill. You know what I mean? Like, what? They have the keys. What happened? Are they joyriding?
It's the 80s. Safety was not a big concern in the 80s.
That's true. They had the flip down seats in the back of the station wagon. Half the troops back there just bopping around with no seatbelt on. So
pile them in. Yeah. Right. So with the kids gone, Linda thanks Danny for letting her use the house. And Danny says, anytime. Me hive is Sue hive. Which is a lame joke, but that's okay. A little girl walks up to Danny.
Well, Danny was a little bit of a
But he's nervous. He's nervous.
But Danny he was a little bit of a nerd.
He is a nerd. And that's why we love him so much. Is because he's not the suave, Jesse Cochran character. He's Danny. He's nerdy and very, very just a wonderful person. She sends out everyone except her own child, who then asks Danny to buy some honey from her. So Linda's like, listen, honey, Mr. Tanner will probably buy honey from Stephanie, his own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
But Danny wants
back off, kid.
Back off, right? It's Stephanie's territory.
She's got that sell message. Sees nothing else but just that bike.
She just wants the bike.
Right in my own living room.
How rude, right? So Danny wants to stay in Linda's good graces, though. So he tells the little girl that he will buy 3 jars. And Stephanie is just unhinged. Stephanie is like, what? He's buying from the competition? Doesn't he know that she needs that bike? I don't blame Steph for being so mad.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So Danny makes up for it and he says, okay, I will buy 10 jars from you.
What is happening with all this honey? Where is it going? What are they doing? Who is slathering themselves in honey? There's just vats of honey somewhere?
So much honey.
It's good God.
So, Stephanie's excited about this, but DJ covers her mouth and says, no, we're going to counter. We're going to haggle a little bit here. Only 10? Stephanie is flesh and blood. So DJ and Danny haggle back and forth. They negotiate and finally settle on 17 jars that Danny's going to buy from Stephanie. What?
I can't. 7. And they're not small jars either.
No, they're
large
full,
jars of honey.
They're full honey
big
jars.
Ones.
Like big mason jars. It's way too much. So the girls leave, and Linda remarks to Danny that he just bought 20 jars of honey. Danny says, oh, that's nothing. When DJ set the record, he bought 112 jars and built a honey cellar downstairs.
There we go. Now that explains it. It's right. Joey's room was a honey cellar. Now, yeah. Because there's so much room.
This is also so relatable because how many times you end up as a parent just buying out, like you're like, oh, the kid has to sell so many whatever for the fundraiser for the school. And as a parent, you're just like, dang it, do I just have to buy the rest of these that the kid didn't sell?
Yeah, but they're always buying, that's always like C's candy or like Girl Scout nuts and chocolate or Girl Scout cookies. So the problem is that I'm not like, oh darn, there's 112 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in my house. I'm like, yo, here we go. And that's the problem.
That is the problem. It's the product. It is the product that's the problem. So Linda starts to leave, but Danny stammers and stutters, and he awkwardly asks Linda if she likes movies. He is so bad at this, and he loses his concentration. And Linda's like, hurry up. I got a car full of honeybees.
I got a car full of bees.
That's
going to be my excuse for everything from now on. I'm sorry. I've got a car full of bees. I have to leave.
I've got a car full of bees.
I've got turtles in bags and cars full of bees. I've got to leave.
Turtles and bags.
Yep.
So Linda cuts right to the chase. She has 2 tickets to the modern art exhibit tonight. Does Danny want to go with her if she can find a sitter? Danny immediately offers up Joey and Jesse to babysit. And great, it's a date. Linda's thrilled. She says she will even buy Danny dinner as well. She's going to pick him up at 7. All right, good. Thank goodness for Linda for being forward because Danny wasn't getting it out.
Right?
And like this date never would have been set up.
Come on, buddy, let's do this.
Leave it to a woman. Just get shit done, Linda is setting up the date.
She's running a hive. She's got a car full of bees.
Yeah. I admire her. I do. I'm here for Linda.
Okay.
So Danny closes the door and he keeps repeating, I have a date tonight. I have a date tonight. He's in disbelief. And then he does this weird leg kick thing for emphasis.
He would do that. And that was one of Bob's more awkward moments because, again, he was so long that getting his knee up was like an ostrich. You know what I mean? Just yeah, it was great. It was so awkward and so Danny.
It's so Danny. I loved it. It made me laugh. So next in the kitchen, Joey is putting together the dream house. Which also, sometimes I thought they were calling it a dream house.
It's a playhouse.
It's a playhouse.
A tree house.
They call it a tree house. Sometimes they call it a dream house, but I'm like, no, it's like a playhouse.
It's a playhouse. It's a playhouse. Okay. Well, I'm sure it was written by men who had never unboxed any sort of small playground equipment and had to build it.
Right. Okay.
The night before a holiday.
Right, when you're like, oh, I'm out of batteries, I'm out of whatever other tools I need to build this dang thing.
Yeah.
So Joey's putting together the playhouse, and Jesse is talking to Michelle about how much better this playhouse will be than Benny the dish rag.
Why is this? There's toys all over this damn house. Why have they given the child a dish rag?
Well, this is so relatable though,
because $17 million house in San Francisco, and the kid's playing with a dish rag.
Yes, because babies are like that. They'll just attach themselves to like a lovey, like a weird, like Felicity did this. She had an old shirt of mine that she would just like sniff and like rub on her nose. She's going to be so embarrassed that I'm telling you this.
She hates you right
But
now.
she would just had a lovey and it would like, it got so ragged because she never wanted to wash it.
The kids had, but
they had their
was not a
loveys.
dish rag.
Not a dish rag. Well, no. And they should have set this up a little better because by the end of the episode, I was like, what? So the dish rag is a lovey and Michelle doesn't want to let go of it. So they're trying to wean Michelle off of Benny, the dish rag. And they're hoping that this playhouse will be a substitute.
Replace it with a playhouse?
Yes, replace it with a playhouse.
That seems like a very odd lateral transfer of things. You know what I mean?
Agree.
Like,
I agree.
what's she going to do? Carry the playhouse around with her? At least Benny the dish rag's portable. You know?
Yeah, at least you can sleep with Benny the dish rag. You can't really cuddle with your playhouse. But
who hasn't slept with Benny the dish rag? You know what I mean?
Well, if I had a dime for every time.
Yeah, that guy. Okay.
That guy. All right. So Danny enters the kitchen. He's giddy and he announces that he has a date tonight. And the guys all
He's
cheer.
so cute.
He's so excited. Jesse says, "Oh, it was my pep talk about being bold and confident, wasn't it?" And Danny says, "No, I was shy and awkward. And she asked me out, and she's treating me to dinner and an art exhibit." Joey and Jesse are stunned and perhaps even a little jealous, too.
Right? Very, very feminist of her to be like, I'm taking you out. Yeah.
And she's paying for it. Yeah, I'm starting to really love Linda. I do. So Jesse offers to watch the girls, and suddenly Danny is reminded, oh, yeah, the girls. He is stressed about how he's going to tell the girls that he has a date. Joey and Jesse offer up some generic, unhelpful advice, and Danny says, you guys don't have a clue how to handle this, do you? And they really don't.
I mean, who does? I don't, there's no answers.
It's a hard situation. So Danny goes over to Michelle in the high chair and asks if she will help him tell the girls. Michelle nods her head yes, and then grabs onto Danny's nose.
And then grabs Bob's nose. Oh my God.
And you can see Bob kind of looking off into the camera aisle.
He's looking on, and he totally broke the fourth wall there. He did not think that they were going to use that. And yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if he's looking for Adria, like to be like, get this kid's hand off my nose.
He's looking at Adria like, what do I do? The baby has my nose. But it was so funny.
Yes, it was so great. But was he always insecure about his nose? I feel like this is sort of a recurring thing. I mean, maybe not.
I don't know about insecure. I mean, I'm sure, like, I don't know if he ever really made comments about it, but it was,
There's a joke later.
Like Bob didn't know. Yeah.
There's a joke later about Jesse says something about a nose job for Danny, and I'm just like, why is this nose bit a recurring joke in this episode?
Maybe it wasn't a recurring thing until the baby grabbed the nose, and then John ran with it and probably improvised that joke, and Bob probably hated it but didn't say anything. That's how I imagine this going down.
That's what I'm remembering. Yes, that's what I'm remembering. Okay. So we cut now to the girls' bedroom, where DJ is given Stephanie instructions on how to give the best honeybee seller speech. She demonstrates this, and Stephanie's very impressed. Danny walks in.
She could sell ice to Eskimos, man. I'm telling you.
Oh,
she could sell the honey back to the bees.
She could. She's very resourceful. She knows what she's doing. Danny walks in, and Stephanie tries her speech on him. Hi, Daddy. I'm Stephanie Tanner. Stephanie Tanny. And your honey is tax duck-billed. Happy birthday. She's just getting all of it wrong, but selling it.
I mean, tax deductible. When you're 6, you're like, tax duck billed. Yes, thank you.
That makes more sense than tax deductible to a 6-year-old. So funny. So Danny sits them down for an important talk. He has trouble getting the words out, and instead he just buys 2 more jars of honey. Then he stutters and buys 4 more jars of honey.
Because,
Stephanie's like, wow, I'm great at this.
You're going to have a honey swimming pool in the backyard. Yeah.
He finally gets it out that he is going out with Julie's mom, Linda, tonight. Stephanie mistakes this as an invitation that they are all going out together. Danny explains that no, it's just him and Linda.
Oh, so awkward.
It's so awkward.
You're like, hey, I'll go. No, you're not invited.
Yeah. I was cringing. DJ is clearly bitter, and she explains to Stephanie in clear terms, Dad is going out on a date, and he doesn't want us there. They want to be alone. Ouch. DJ starts to storm out, but Danny stops her and explains that he and Linda just want to get to know each other better. But DJ's not having it. She tries to guilt Danny into staying home to help with homework.
Yep.
Now, Stephanie asks if Julie's mommy is going to become their new mommy. Danny is shocked, and he explains that this is just a date people go out on dates and they don't get married. And, I don't know if you could relate to this, but I totally could relate to the fear of introducing a new partner to your kids. And I mean, granted, mine wasn't a death situation. Mine was a divorce. But when I brought Michael, my boyfriend of 9 years, around to meet the kids, it's like so nervous. I waited 6 months to even introduce them because I was paranoid about what they were going to think. Are they going to be mad? What's going to go on? And the kids, they were good about it, but a little bit hesitant. And I found out later that Tate, my son, my oldest son, he was a little bit like, I don't know about this. He was kind of cranky about it, kind of like DJ was.
Right.
And I was like, what's going on, Tate? Are you okay with this situation? Well, I found out later that he assumed that because I was dating Michael and Michael was from Texas, that meant the whole family was moving to Texas.
Texas? Oh, no.
And he was announcing to his whole classroom that I'm moving to Texas. And I'm like, no, honey, like this is just, we're just dating. We're not getting married. We're not moving to Texas. Nothing is going to change. But just watching the scene brought back those memories of just having those conversations with your kids.
I actually loved this episode for that because it was... And it was such a real moment where like nobody knew. I don't know.
There's no
Danny didn't know. The
this.
Guys didn't know. There's no handbook for it. Like, it is what it is. And like walking the kids through it and letting them have their emotions and feeling that being torn as a parent of like, well, how do I, make sure my kids are taken care of and okay, but how do I also make choices that make me happy? What's the balance? How do you do that? So it was such a great episode for that. But DJ was, woof.
She's mad.
Woo.
She has feelings about this.
She has feelings.
And she's not going to hold him back. Like she's going to let Danny know exactly how she feels.
She's like, he's leaving. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Bitter. It was pretty brutal.
She's very bitter, but this is very... very relatable. And yeah, like you said, for writers that couldn't get the playhouse right, the Benny, the dish rag, and the playhouse, and all these little kid specificities, like they get that stuff wrong. But then they nailed this storyline of how to explain to your kids that, dad's moving on and dad needs to take care of himself and do things that make him happy, but Danny still loves his daughters.
Well, maybe that's an area of life that they had more experience with.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Well, they really nailed it. I think they hit all these emotional beats, and
it was great.
I really like it. Okay, moving on. DJ continues to give Danny a guilt trip until Danny finally decides, fine, he will stay home with the kids and cancel his date. DJ looks very pleased with herself.
Mm-hmm.
The girls kiss him on the cheeks. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I also noticed in this scene, I have a giant Band-Aid on my knee, and I don't know. I was like, what did I do?
You probably fell down, or who knows?
Well, I decidedly fell down, but I was like, what did I do? Yeah, it was like a big wound. Anyway,
we should keep a running tally of your injuries, during the 8
with
years.
my little fuzzy face thing. It was like, if you look too, there was like a little face on that fuzzy outfit that I had. It was like a weird little gnome looking thing, like made out of clay. It was a button. I don't know. It was very strange, very 80s, but
very 80s. Love it. So we hear some sad instrumental music, and that takes us to the commercial break. And after the sad commercial break,
you know you're having a feeling.
Yes, sad instrumental music. After the commercial break, Danny's in the kitchen, and he's calling Linda to cancel this date. Jesse and Joey walk in and overhear this conversation. And side note, Jesse's wearing yellow and not blue. He's not wearing his traditional teal.
He's wearing a bowling shirt.
Oh.
If you notice, it's like a vintage style bowling shirt with a leather vest over
with the leather vest. Yes, he's got the leather vest. Yeah. It's his standard uniform, but the shirt is so different.
I know, the color,
so bright.
It was shocking.
It took me out of the scene. I was like, what? Where's his traditional teal and black outfit?
The color story changed.
Yeah, it changed. Very jarring, very jarring. So Jesse and Joey question Danny about what happened, and Danny explains that he couldn't handle the looks on the girls' faces. Joey and Jesse think that he should have kept the date, and Danny claims it'll be much easier to date when the girls move out to college. Joey says he'll be pushing 50 at the singles bars, and then Dave does this really funny impression of old man Danny Tanner. which is great.
Again, 50 though. Not old. That's not
50
that
is
old.
not old.
No, it is. No, it's not.
No. No, you're right.
Just a reminder, everyone.
Yes, no, 50
is not. Yeah, you're not.
You're just starting life at 50.
Yeah.
So Jess.
Well, I mean, maybe not just starting, but you're well into it.
Well, yes, well into
But
it.
not-
The best
but
is
not
yet
done.
to come. No, not done at all. Jesse says, "What do you want to do, Danny?" And Danny replies that, well, he wants to go out with Linda. So Danny calls Linda back to reinstate their date. He claims that it was his evil twin brother, Manny Tanner, who called to cancel
I would
a few
have
minutes earlier.
loved to have seen that episode where Danny's evil twin, Manny, shows up. I feel like it should have been in the same episode as Stavros. And
Yes.
and they could have had a battle to the death.
Oh, that would have been so
Manny
great.
versus Stavros.
Stavros. And then they had the Olsen, there was the Greek Olsen twin, or the Greek
Right.
the Greek cousin.
Right.
So both Olsens
you
were in
imagine?
that episode. That would be so great.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a cage
man.
match.
That would be amazing. So the date is back on. Hallelujah. Just then, DJ and Stephanie walk in and announce that they're so thankful that Danny canceled his date that they want to take him out for ice cream. They say, "You're a great dad and we love you so much." Oh, the guilt. The guilt. So Danny hugs the girls and once again gets on the phone and cancels the date, a la Manny Tanner.
Oh, Manny.
Oh, Danny Manny. So we fade to the living room where Joey is giving Jesse instructions on how to build the playhouse. DJ and Stephanie come in and ask if the guys want to join them for ice cream with Danny. Joey and Jesse propose that they take the girls to ice cream instead and let Danny go on the date. DJ says that idea stinks, and Stephanie is just still confused. Man, I don't remember DJ ever being this bratty. Like, she's very unhinged.
DJ in this one was pretty, and I understandly, but I think that was always the thing. Like DJ, because she was the oldest one, I noticed there were a couple episodes where like she really like the thought of the change of like having Steph move in. I think in that pilot episode and stuff like, and this is where we really see it come out. And like it's a little like she's unhappy. She's
it
she's
makes
pissed.
sense.
She's pissed.
She's pissed. She's mad. Her mom is gone.
Yeah.
These weird men have moved in with her. Her sister's now infiltrated her room, and she's just like, what? And now dad's going to start dating too. So you're right. She had more years with Pam than Stephanie did. And certainly Michelle.
Steph was like,
Steph's just confused this whole episode, but DJ's
I mean,
upset.
I get that. I
get
spent a
it.
lot of my time there.
Yep.
I just said, I've been confused all day. And that is, I'm going to cross stitch that onto a pillow.
I've been confused all day.
I've been confused all day. Yeah.
Yep, some things never change. So Joey explains that he knows how the girls feel because he was only 6 when his parents got divorced. And he wasn't very happy when his mom started to date again. But once his mom started dating again, Joey saw that she was much happier because she wasn't so lonely anymore. And this stops DJ. And she asks, do you think Dad is lonely? And Joey replies, yes, he does think that Danny is lonely. And so this gives DJ pause, and she admits that she wants her dad to be happy. And Stephanie says, well, let's go talk to Daddy. And the girls exit. Jesse announces that he's finished building this dream house, finally, without instructions, by the way. But he quickly realizes he is stuck inside the playhouse and he can't get out. So he just picks up the whole damn house and walks into the kitchen with the house around him.
John's moments of great physical comedy that was very funny. Even though he could have just lifted it over his head and stood up through the hole in the bottom, but that doesn't make for a good joke.
That wouldn't have been nearly as funny as this bit with the house. So now DJ pulls Stephanie into their bedroom and says she's not sure about this. Stephanie says, but I thought you wanted Daddy to be happy. And DJ says, well, you're forgetting about someone very important, Mom. DJ thinks that Mom might not be so happy about Dad going out on dates. And Stephanie says, well, she doesn't want Mommy, Daddy, or her and DJ to be not happy. And Stephanie says, well, I think I'm just having my first headache, which relatable, you know?
Many more. This was such a cute scene, though. Like, it was such a sweet moment in between this scene and then the next scene in Danny's room were such sweet scenes, like between the girls and between, Danny and his girls. It was I liked these two moments.
It's very tender and honest and real.
Yeah, and Steph was just so like, wait, I don't know what's happening. Yeah. Like it was a real moment, where like the older kids like, no, I have a little more experience here, and the younger one's just like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
Yes, very, very real moments here. So we fade to Danny's bedroom.
The first time we've seen Danny's bedroom, is it not?
No, we've seen it once before. I can't remember the episode off the top of my head, but we've seen it once before. There was a weird exercise bike in his bedroom, which is not there this time.
That's right. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, can't remember the episode, but this is the second time we've seen Danny's room.
Right.
Which is great. And Danny's laying on his bed. He's throwing a football in the air, and the girls walk in carrying bowls of ice cream. Danny sits the girls on the bed and asks them what's wrong. Stephanie says, DJ was wondering if you still love Mom. Oh, God. And the look on your face, Jodie, is just like...
I wrote down, this is the first time I've cried watching this. Well, maybe not the first time, because seeing it and Bob and all, but like for an emotional scene, this scene got me.
It's a gut punch. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, what a weighty question.
Yeah.
It's a huge question, and it's an honest question, and it's, wow. You just delivered that so well, and the look on your face was amazing. So Danny reassures them, of course I still love Mom. She was the first love of my life. Danny reassures them that he will always love Mom, even if he goes out on a date. DJ asks, well, how do you think Mom would feel about that? And Danny says he knows exactly how she would feel because they once talked about it. If something happened to either of them, the surviving spouse should feel free to find someone to share their life with. And he's not looking for someone to replace their mom. He will never, ever forget her. And at this point, we cut to a wide shot of the four of them. Michelle, for some reason, is fast asleep on Danny's lap.
No, she wasn't even asleep, though. She was just, like, curled up. No, she was just, if you see, like, her face, she's awake and probably looking at Andrea. Like, okay. But she's just curled up, like, Bob's sitting kind of, like, cross-legged. And she's just curled up, like, in his lap.
Oh, it's so sweet.
And it's so cute. And then, like, she sits up for a moment and then does it again. Like, and it was just such a sweet moment, like, that would happen with a parent, like you're having a conversation with your two older ones and then your little toddler's just being silly and like curled up in your lap. And it was, I loved watching that dynamic. It was very sweet.
It's very cute, and it shows how comfortable the Olsens were with all of you guys, that they could just lay down and they're not sleeping, but they're just comfortable that they can just kind of wrap their body around whoever they're sitting on. It was very, very sweet.
I loved that.
So DJ finally gives her blessing for Danny to go on his date. Danny says, well, he can't call Linda yet again after already breaking their date twice. So DJ says, I'll call her. And she runs to the phone.
The assassination of President John F. Kennedy is the greatest murder mystery in American history.
That's Rob Reiner. Rob called me, Soledad O'Brien, and asked me what I knew about this crime. I know 60 years later, new leads are still emerging. To me, an award-winning journalist, that's the making of an incredible story. And on this podcast, you're going to hear it told by one of America's greatest storytellers.
We'll ask, who had the motive to assassinate a sitting president?
My dad thought JFK screwed us at the Bay of Pigs, and then he screwed us after the Cuban Missile Crisis.
We'll reveal why Lee Harvey Oswald isn't who they said he was.
I was under the impression that Lee was being trained for a specific operation.
Then we'll pull the curtain back on the cover-up. The American people need to know the truth.
Listen to Who Killed JFK on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready. Will Lucas from Black Tech Green Money, the podcast for black techies with a passion for capital, is hosting a special event happening at State Farm Park in iHeartland. Will's going to chat about the top 10 things you should be doing to build your wealth. Don't miss this epic event starting Thursday, November 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern at State Farm Park in iHeartland on Roblox. Available all weekend long. Be sure to check out State Farm's new Temple of Sound Maze minigame. Visit iHeartRadio.com/iHeartland to start playing today.
beautiful people. I'm Saida Garrett, Grammy winner and 2-time Oscar-nominated singer-songwriter and passionate knitter. And now, host of my very own show, the Uppity Knitter Podcast, Celebrity Hobbies Uncovered. Ever wonder how celebrities spend their spare time when they're not on stage or in the studio or in front of a camera? Well, I'm calling all my celebrity friends to come on my show and spill the tea on what they're up to when the camera's not on. Friends like RuPaul. And how about actor and comedian Marlon Wayans? And you'd be surprised to know which female musician and recording artist is also an expert in archery? Tune in to the Uppity Knitter Podcast, Celebrity Hobbies Uncovered, with me, Saida Garrett, for a stitch of inspiration and pearls of laughter. Subscribe now on the iHeartRadio app and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We cut to later in the day. We're still in Danny's room, but it's now messy with clothes strewn all over the place. Jesse and Joey enter the room, and Jesse's eating a chicken leg. Is this the first
cold chicken?
Is this the first cold chicken
I
leg?
don't know if it's the first cold chicken leg, but but cold chicken is a thing.
It's a thing.
That was the thing.
That was John's thing. He just always had a chicken, a cold chicken wing,
fried chicken
leg,
yeah.
fried chicken. Yeah.
And I weirdly actually started liking it as a kid, like the weird cold chicken. I blame John.
It's just such a weird thing because it has nothing to do with the scene or the episode. It's just he's just randomly.
But that's
carrying
John, right? Just like me and my chicken wing are walking into this scene and maybe pulling a little focus, but that's okay.
I'm going to keep a running tally of how many cold chicken legs we see.
Yes, running a chicken wing tally.
I'm here for it.
A chicken wing tally. And also this leads us into a montage, which
the
montage
is
montage.
So
and
good.
More music because we haven't had we've been a little lacking in we haven't. We had Venus in the last one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Another musical moment. So
musical
but this
moment.
was a montage moment.
And it's
montage.
It
reminds me
great.
of Team America. Montage. We're having the montage. Yeah.
So Danny asked the guys for help putting a look together, and we flip to this montage where first Danny is wearing an exact shirt of Joey's, as well as the high-waisted trousers that are so high, like so high. Why did Dave wear his pants so high?
It was the 80s, man. That was a thing. It was like people wanted to look like they had no middle section.
No torso.
Like your pants were up over your belly button. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a choice. It was definitely a choice.
Yeah, no. It doesn't look cute. You get fupa or whatever. It's just not. Don't look that up, guys. Don't look it up. Okay.
Don't just.
Those of you who know, you know.
I do.
It's okay.
I know, and now I don't know if I can continue. Okay.
It's not wrong.
I'll continue. It's a choice. It's very 80s,
you should keep going.
I'm going to keep going
before I say something else. Okay,
because I can tell it's on the tip of your tongue. Okay, we flip again. We flip again to Danny is now all rocked out with a leather jacket. His hair is slicked back like Jesse, and he's
little ducktail in the front.
Yes.
The little
Jesse's adjusting his hair with the little. Oh, it's so funny. And then we cut to the living room, where Linda is waiting on the couch with the guys.
This poor woman. I gotta say,
how long has she been waiting downstairs?
Well, long enough for there to be a montage.
Yeah.
And also, the guys were upstairs with her, so is she just like sitting in the living room? Can you imagine this poor woman?
Yeah.
This man has called 3 times, pretended to be an evil twin.
Yes.
Said he's going, he's not going, he's going, he's not going.
Yeah.
Bought honey off of your kid.
Yeah.
Now he's having a montage moment upstairs, and you're still waiting.
She waits for 40
and I'd be
minutes
like,
downstairs.
And I'm paying for this shit?
Right.
I
really hope
gotta say, Linda,
at least split the bill with her or something.
Linda, he's not ready. He's not
He's
ready.
so not ready.
He's not ready, Linda. No.
Run, Linda, run.
Yeah.
So Jesse says Danny should be down any minute. And right then, Danny walks in from the kitchen wearing a suit and tie again, back to his normal look.
Back to the Danny look.
Which is his best.
With the skinny 80s ties and everything.
Yep.
Those ties were no more than an inch wide.
No.
Top to bottom. The whole thing.
So Danny tells Linda thanks for waiting and sorry about all the confusion. And Linda's very understanding. She says, I understand completely. DJ brings Michelle in to say goodbye. And Danny kisses them on the cheek and then opens the door for Linda to exit. Jesse and Joey pretend to be old parents saying goodbye. Take 2 dimes for a phone call. You kids behave yourself.
They remind me of Billy Crystal and oh God, I can't think of her name. She's a brilliant comedian in A Princess Bride.
Have fun storming the castle.
Yes.
Yeah, and the witches that live
The
in the
old,
thing.
the old witch and no, I don't know. Carol is it Carol? No.
Not Carol Channing. No,
Carol something.
Oh. She's and I can picture her out of the makeup, but I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, that's all right. Well, somebody will email us and tell us.
yes.
So Danny and Linda exit, and Jesse announces that it's time for Michelle's big moment. Time to get rid of Benny the dish rag, and he throws the dish rag on the floor, and introduce her to her brand new playhouse. They slide Michelle down the slide. Michelle stands up and walks right over to pick up Benny, looks over her shoulder, and makes a break for the kitchen. And that's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
There's the everywhere you look moment at the bottom of that.
Yeah.
At
At
the
the bottom? What's your
not the bottom, but at the end of the show.
What's your everywhere you
everywhere
look?
you look moment. If you look at the very last 10 seconds when Michelle is exiting from the living room into the kitchen, you will see on the ground the skirt of Andrea Later. Sitting by the kitchen door, kind of in the doorway, but a little bit off camera.
Yeah.
But you see, remember Andrea always had those long flowy skirts?
Yeah.
You see her skirt where the either Ashley or Carol Kane, that's who it was with Billy Crystal.
Carol
Sorry,
Kane,
that just came
thank
in
you.
and
Thank you,
had to say
producer.
that. But you see Adria's you see Adria's skirt.
I did not notice that. So she was waiting kind of in the kitchen.
She was waiting
that she could catch
calling them
Michelle.
over to towards the kitchen area.
Coax them out, coax them into the kitchen. Oh,
yeah. But she was just inside the door because she had to be there so that they could see Andrea, because they would go to her, but she couldn't be on the other side of the door because they wouldn't have seen the girls wouldn't have seen Andrea, and you would have seen her even more in the shot.
Right.
Yeah, but I had to rewind it a couple times. I was like, wait, is it what? So yeah,
I'm gonna look that
skirt.
up. Oh, I love it. I love that little Easter egg that nobody would have noticed or even known what it was.
Or been like, what is that? Who's that random person? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to go back and look at that.
Yeah. And the dish rag moment was a total little improvised laugh moment from the girls.
Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute that they're just they know that they haven't done something wrong, but she's just I got Benny and I'm making a break
that
for
toddler
it.
thing when they grab something and they get that look I know I'm not supposed to do this, and they do it, and you're like, yeah,
it's so great. Well,
do you have an everywhere you look moment?
I do. I feel like we really need to deconstruct Danny's bedroom a little bit more because even though we've seen it before, we see a lot more of it this time. And he's got this nautical theme. This nautical theme is running strong through his bedroom. He's got the blue plaid comforter
through his house.
Through the whole house.
He basically lives on the boat from the Sea Cruise episode.
He does. He's got the blue plaid. He's got it on his bedspread. He's got it on his curtains.
The couch and the curtains are the same.
The same.
Basically.
And it's in the kitchen, it's in the living room, and it's in Danny's bedroom.
Can you imagine being surrounded by that much blue plaid?
That's a lot of blue plaid. It's a lot.
And you love plaid.
And I love plaid. I do.
You love plaid.
I do.
That is...
Even I don't have that many plaid curtains in my house.
And how many plaid curtains do you have in your house?
0. I have a gingham. I have one gingham.
Okay.
Not totally plaid. It's kind of related, but yeah, one gingham. But I also saw, it looks like in Danny's bedroom, there's a side patio door. There's a single door with window
I saw
pane.
that too, yeah.
Where does that go to? Isn't his room on the second floor? So why is there a door?
Well,
where is there a balcony?
It's a small balcony. Yeah,
he has
obviously.
a balcony.
Duh.
Well,
he's got a balcony and a shape-shifting backyard.
And
you know how much that goes for in San Francisco? Yeah, no, I mean, the assumption is, right, that Danny's room is at the end of the hallway.
End of the hallway.
So I always picture it like Michelle's room, Jesse's room, Danny's room, and Steph and DJ's room, and the bathroom, right?
That's how I've pictured it as well.
So
that's second floor.
So so the door, I guess, if you were approximating it that way, would be like a little side of the house balcony.
Little side of the house
right?
balcony.
Because the closet would be the end of the house.
Okay. I can picture that.
If you walked in that, you know what I'm saying?
Man, we got to get an architect on this show to just describe all the
there is
all
I
the
think
problems
somewhere
with this house.
online. I saw someone who actually like made a recreation of what the house would have to look like in order for all of those rooms to fit, and it was amazing because you're like, it was the most monstrosity house. It was put the Winchester Mystery House to shame. Just stairs that went nowhere. Yeah, it was crazy.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing.
No, nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
Well, that's on brand for this show, you know, just secret doors and more rooms and shape-shifting and everything. So
I'm sure that balcony probably at one point was like, we don't need that anymore. Just get rid of that.
Yeah, just get rid of it. I'll be curious to see if that door is still there because I know we see Danny's room again. Like when you poke a hole through the wall. Like, so I'm curious to see if that patio door stays or if they get rid of it. I don't know. Anyway. Everywhere you look, that's it.
Look, there's blue plaid.
True. So true.
I'm going to redo my entire house in all blue plaid.
And charge people to come visit and like it's like
that's it. You just come look at my plaid curtains. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I'll bring my Full House merch and like display it like a museum. It'll be like a little Full House museum. Come see
this is sad. We can't do this. That's no.
We started with colonoscopies and we're ending with I don't know what
something
this is.
Even weirder, which is a Full House museum and me having plaid curtains that we're running somehow and charging people a wooden nickel to come in. Like, what is this? This is some sort of strange.
Maybe we should pay them
sideshow
to come in. I don't know. This has been too much. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, we need to. Somebody, please just unplug our microphones.
I will say it is always a pleasure doing these wonderful episodes with you. And everyone, if you want to follow us on Instagram, make sure you follow at How Rude Podcast, or you can send us messages, emails, show ideas, questions for our mini-sodes, all that kind of stuff at howrudepodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you tune in next week for more fun episodes. We'll be covering, episode 18.
Episode 18. Yeah.
Episode 18. I'm not sure what our next one will be. But anyway, make sure you follow, subscribe, rate the podcast, all that fun stuff. And remember,
you can do it.
The house is full. Nope. The world is
Nope.
The world is small, but the house is full.
You did it. Yes.
Yay!
Yes.
Da, 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 da. See, if I just close my eyes, it's there.
Yeah, it helps when you close your eyes. I could see you concentrating.
Yeah.
Good job, Jodie. I'm proud of you.
The world is small. The house is full of blue plaid.
So true. So true. Oh, until next time.
Until next time, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.